Hello everybody and welcome back for more Let's Play Pokemon Crystal. In the last episode we defeated Jasmine and got the mineral badge, and in this episode, well, before we go any further, I want to show you guys something. So I'm going to go check the stats with Daruk and Nightshade. And look at that, Daruk has now evolved from Graveler to Golem. And then after I check out his stats, and then you can probably get started by now with Nightshade. And Nightshade has evolved from Haunter into Gengar. And so if you guys are probably wondering, like, how'd you evolve them already? Well, I mean, well, for those of you who actually don't know or just currently not aware, what I did was that, off-screen, since, you know, since both Graveler and Haunter, like, they don't need to just, like, learn any specific moves before evolving, because, you know, it's solely the same. I actually looked this up, and it's actually true for that. And so I figured I'd just go ahead and, now that I have both of them at their secondary forms, and, because Graveler and Haunter, respectively, they evolve by trading, basically. So what I did off-screen is that, I went ahead and got my other 3DS, which is actually it's a 3DS XL, which is actually my current one that I was using to play other 3DS games, but I'm actually using a separate one because the one that I'm recording right now has its own capture card. So that one I'm only using to record any, if I want to do Let's Plays of DS or 3DS games, or once I get to those, actually. But yeah, I have like those two separate ones, and that other 3DS XL that I mainly use. Oh, it's actually it's a new Nintendo 3DS XL. Well, actually the new in massive air quotes, but it's actually like, you know, the latest model. I downloaded a Pokemon Gold on there, and I wanted to hurry and get that out of the way before the eShop closed. So so I was lucky enough to do that. I did the same for Crystal. You know, for the sake of the Let's Play. And so what I did was that completely off screen. I didn't really bother to record this because then I would have to show off the well, I mean, I didn't have like two separate capture cards, and I would have wanted to just record off there. But then that would mean just having to just do like each separate thing, because I only had one computer. I wasn't able to do it overall just by having to like record both at the same time. It would have been a pain in the ass anyway. Maybe you guys are kind of paying attention. It kind of sounds complicated, but yeah, off screen, I went ahead and did the link trade just by connecting to the two 3DS consoles, and then I went and did the trade over Daruk and Nightshade over to Gold version, and that's how they evolved to Golem and Gengar respectively. And so after that, then I went ahead and traded them back over, because just so that way there I can just keep them in my team. And so, yeah, that's how I got those. So since I had those, and I was able to trade them over, and then I got their final evolved form. So now it's Golem and Gengar, and I'm actually real glad about this, especially with Gengar, because for one thing, I love Gengar. It's my absolute favorite ghost type of all time. And when I register Tolley's number here, he's another one of those trainers that you're gonna want to keep his phone number, because he'll sometimes give you a Water Stone, only in Crystal though. So you know, just throw that out there. So yeah, since I was since you know I'm playing this on the 3DS Virtual Console, and what that means is that you can actually to use the Link Trader and the Link Battling, you can actually just connect those two 3DSs exactly the same as how you do with the DS and 3DS Pokemon titles when it comes to like doing the Link Trades and the battling. So it's actually the exact same as where you're doing the virtual consoles of Gens 1 and 2, just by just make sure you have like two 3DSs, and you have already downloaded those games here to perform those link trades. And then what you do, you just go to the second floor of the Pokemon Center. You talk to the lady there, and then whenever she tells you to wait first, then the virtual console menu will pop up, and then it'll ask you which kind of what kind of connection method you want to use, and so you just pick whichever one, and then you'll go ahead and proceed with the trading. So that's basically how it works with the Virtual Console releases. In the original cartridge versions, you'd have to have like two separate Game Boy consoles, like either actually, well, I want to say original Game Boy, but only for Gold and Silver, because Crystal is not compatible with the original Game Boy. Can be the Game Boy Colors or the Game Boy Advance, since they're also backwards compatible with the Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. And if you have if you also have a link cable, and of course you have a friend who is willing to do that, but that's going to be very hard to do this, especially nowadays. Like in this day and age, it's like next to near impossible to actually be able to do all that. But if you actually happen to have like two separate of those consoles, and you have a link cable, because actually I'm one of those lucky bastards that has something like that, and so you can actually just do it all on your own. So you know, you can just do that if you want to. So so I figured just you know, do all that there. But yeah, that was how I got my Daruk and Nightshade to evolve into Golem and Gengar. And so, and also I went over to the department store in Goldenrod City, and I got to the. Hang on one second, guys. I got a little hair in my. There we go. I got a piece of hair on my in my mouth. I think it was coming from my beard. But you're not really seeing it now. But I actually do have full facial hair. I've actually grown a full beard and a mustache. So, so yeah, which is actually inaccurate to my profile picture right now, or the way my artwork is. So I might just update it whenever I get the time. So. Anyway, so I went over to the Goldenrod department store, and I got the TM, or TM33, which contains Ice Punch. Only in Gen 2, Ice Punch is a TM, because in any other generations, they're move tutors. But thankfully, though, Gen 2, Gen 2 is made into a TM. Well, Ice Punch being made into a TM, so I was thankfully able to just go and buy that. And I actually want to teach it to Nightshade, because, you know, since he's able to use those elemental punches. So, and the reason why I wanted to go for Ice Punch and give it to Gengar, because like as of this generation, it's I can't exactly remember where I don't even know if there's a TM for Ice Beam. I think it already lost its TM status in this gen, if I remember correctly. I know a bunch of the common TMs don't have their TM status in Gen 2, and I don't think Lantern would know Ice Beam naturally. But yeah, even then, it would be hard to find Ice Beam. And so, I want to go ahead and just, since there was Ice Punch, then I want to go ahead and just teach it to Nightshade. And the reason why is because I actually wanted some Ice-type coverage, because, in the gym, after the gym that we're going to be going to next, we'll specialize in Dragon types, and in this, and only for, as of this gen, they're weakened by Dragon types and Ice types. And, well, you know, I want to make sure it has some Ice-type coverage, because that way there I can actually just get some sort of a weakness to the Dragon type, so that's the reason why. So, Nightshade is the only Pokemon that can know Ice Punch. Well, you know, it does, because he does have hands anyway, so, seems to be able to just, use that there along with the Elemental Punches, but I just want to go for Ice Punch itself, so, so yeah, there we have it, so, yeah, yeah, so just to make sure to have that kind of coverage, because you know, I just need it at some point. It's the only way, basically. So anyway, so here we are in Mahogany Town. It's a very tiny town here. This guy is blocking the way to the gym, which is well, technically where he needs to go next. But he's actually blocking the way because he insists that we go over to to this one area called the Lake of Rage and see what's going on there. And this is basically a souvenir shop of sorts with some rather suspicious, creepy music that's playing right now. Gyarados are big money. Something's not right here. What's all the music here? So, this guy will actually go ahead and say some things. He has a Slowpoke tail for $9,800, but I don't want that. He only has potions as well, so there's really not much going for it. But I will actually sell this nugget that I got over to him. Those couple of trainers. Well, actually, no, I already did sell my nugget. Did I? I think I did have okay, yeah, I thought I had a nugget, but no, I only decided to sell my super potion because I got hyper potions anyway. So so yeah, those items he's selling to you are just really pretty pointless, but I figure just go and just sell him some. And there's also another guy right over this way. Like we tried to exit Mahogany Town. He'll actually block the way. Like he'll ask you to do some sightseeing, but he'll also sell you these items called the Rage Candy bars. And also, we go to the Pokegear radio. We see this rather peculiar and mysterious tune that's playing. It's kind of creepy, though. What could this be? What does this possibly mean here? What is going on here? Something something strange, and I don't like it one bit. So, anyway, so yeah, that guy was that just gave us the Rage Candy bar, which is supposed to be the main delicacy for Johto. It restores 20 HP to your Pokemon. I think later gens they changed it to where it's essentially a full heal. If I remember correctly, because I know most other regional delicacies they actually fully heal status conditions like some glorified full heal. But I can't remember exactly because I know like for this one it just heals 20 HP, which is relatively useless. And I don't know if we could probably keep this Rage Candy bar though, because I think it might be used for something that's later down the road. Or something, but I'm not sure if it's in this gen. I might be thinking of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, because I know there's this one instance where you give somebody a Rage Candy bar. So, anyways, so I guess that's not much else to do in Mahogany Town, since we can't really go into the gym right now, because the guy wants us to do some sightseeing, go to the, and go to Lake of Rage, which is where we're supposed to go right about now. Those other trainers I battled, we saw those other we saw a Nidorina and Nidorino, which is the second stage for the Nidoran line. And they evolved into Nidoqueen and Nidoking respectively with a Moonstone. And then there was also a hiker that Dugtrio, which evolves from a Diglett. Pretty low with HP, but good attacks as well. And then this guy here is our first encounter with a Sandslash, evolved from a Sandshrew, essentially with a Sandshrew going Super Saiyan 3. Sandslash, real good attack power, and as a matter of fact, definitely one of those broken Pokemon with if you use Slash because of its high critical hit ratio. So yeah, there was that. But pretty decent Pokemon to use for some good ground type coverage. And so, basically, before you can see here, by this point, once you're in Mahogany Town, this is actually where the game gets a little bit railroaded, because it wasn't quite like that in Kanto, where it was just a little bit open-ended. But once you get to Mahogany Town, then yeah, this is where it just kind of starts to get a little railroaded. So that way, there you can't really proceed onwards until you clear off everything around in here. And also over to the right of this area is this little gate. It's actually a toll gate, what it is. Like, if you go in there, you don't want to go over that way, though, because a couple of the Team Rocket grunts will jump you, and then they'll, to them, they'll want you to pay a toll of 1,000 Pokédollars to get through. But in actuality, it's actually more like them outright mugging you, so you don't want to go over that way if you don't want to lose your Pokédollars. You can actually just avoid that by going to the left side. It'll just be like patches of grass, so you'll be having some wild encounters, unless you have any repels. And there's also more trainers over this way, but if you don't want to spend any Pokédollars, then don't go through that toll gate. I didn't want to show it off though, because I didn't really want to do any risks like that at all. But yeah, that's basically what happens if you just don't want to pay the price through there. So we're basically just gonna go in and head up north here, because that will just be where the Lake of Rage is. And as you can see right here, for all the trainers, despite the fact that we just battled Jasmine with her Pokemon being in the level 30s, and with her Steelix being in level 35, as you can see here, the trainers are now still have their Pokemon in their teen levels, and some of okay. Okay, I gotta admit though, when I was recording this, and then I saw his dialogue there. It's yeah, he just said "fuckbag." I thought it was actually like curse, calling somebody a fuckbag, but I just realized that he's actually referring to the rival. So I can just put any kind of name people refer to him as such. It's actually hilarious if people just cursing at Pokemon. Oh god, that was actually hilarious. But he's actually referring to the name of the rival I just gave him. Also, Anthony the Hiker is calling me, and he's challenging me to a battle. And so I didn't really battle him right away because I wanted to finish recording. And also, my 3DS's battery power was in the red zone. So I kind of wanted to, just to make the battery last longer, I had to let it just drain out until it fully runs out of battery, so that way I can charge it. But that was, but not before I save the game though. I would never, do something like that. So yeah, that's why I started. Why I'll keep on collecting Pokemon. Hey, dedicated Pokemon fan, just like us Pokemon fans here. So anyway, what was I gonna say? So yeah, he went and called me and challenged me into a battle. So I haven't done that yet though, and so I just and so the next day, I booted up my game file after the whole thing was saved, and then I tried to go over to Anthony so that way I can talk to him. But for some weird ass reason, he didn't want to battle me at all. He told me as if he never even requested for a battle to begin with. And so the battle wasn't there, and I was like, "What the fuck? You literally called me to challenge me to a battle, and that's what I'm here for. So that we can battle each other. And now you don't want to battle me? What the hell? I don't know if this is some kind of an oversight or a glitch. It might be a glitch where what it is that if a trainer, one of the trainers will call you and schedule you for a meetup to battle to battle you, or if there's any items, and if you wait till the next day, then the whole thing actually cancels out for some reason. I don't know if this is a glitch or anything like that, or some kind of oversight, but I don't know what it was. So therefore, I wasn't able to battle him. That was odd and baffling, but anyway. So now here we are in the Lake of Rage, and apparently there's a strange radio signal that's forcing so many of the Magikarp to evolve into Gyarados, and they are rampaging all over the place, hence the name Lake of Rage. And this guy's giving us some the fishing gurus, giving us some lore about the League of Rage itself, and he's wondering why or wondering what's going on. So anyway, back to what I was saying about those trainers or levels. So once you go over this way, you'll see all those trainers are like still in their teens, and by this point, our Pokemon is just so over level right about now. And the reason why that is because since it's a little bit like after Eggertig City, after feeding Morty, um, the game actually does open up a little more. So because there could be some player or some of the players will actually just would want to go to the east side of Johto first before taking on Chuck and Jasmine, because it is possible to do that. The game won't stop you from doing that. You actually can do that in that kind of a non-linear fashion. And so you actually do that, but to compensate for that, they actually just kept those levels at that kind of a low point. And so if you went over to the left side of Johto first and then went to the right side, your Pokemon would have already been over leveled by this point. And so therefore, this is where it gets really fucking easy, because you're basically just one-shotting right there with those Pokemon. And so because of that, then you won't really gain much experience, and so it becomes such a slog, and it gets like real easy, and so it just drags because of that. And that's really where the biggest problem for Gen 2 is the leveling curve. So you won't be able to get much experience, like very little, and then you'll just have to end up grinding. So that really so that's just like irksome. So anyway, so we're gonna go to the middle of Lake Rage, and we see this some Gyarados. Oh my god, it's our first shiny! Okay, no, I'm not. It's not really gonna. I can count that. So anyway, so this right here is actually a red Gyarados, and so the reason why you see it sparkling, because this is actually the introduction to one of the rarest kind of Pokemon that you'll ever encounter for like starting with Gen 2 and onwards. This is a shiny Pokemon, and shiny Pokemon they're basically a Pokemon of alternate colors, and they're very much they're rare finds. They're not really that much like it doesn't really they don't really affect so much with stats and all that such, but they're mainly for like bragging rights. But if you ever come across a shiny Pokemon, catch it though, because I mean, like I said, it's only for the sake of visuals, but it's actually just real cool to actually have a shiny Pokemon, because since they're very rare like that. And so so basically the first quote unquote shiny Pokemon to encounter, well, in terms of plot, is just that red Gyarados that you see there. Because when a Pokemon is just shiny, like when you first encounter it, you see those, you see it sparkling, and then you just kind of see some different colors for that. Although it is possible to actually encounter some other shiny Pokemon before you get to that red Gyarados. So, because the chance for encountering a shiny Pokemon is 1 in well, probably over the 10,000. I can't exactly remember what number it is, but I'll have to look it up a little later. But they're very much rare finds though. So like I said, if you ever find them, then you can just catch them, and I've actually just had quite a bit of luck with carrying with those shiny encounters in some of my other Pokemon games, especially like well, especially with recently being in Scarlet and Violet, where I found like several bunch of shinies in the overworld. You can actually just see them there. So yeah, I want to go ahead and just catch that red Gyarados. Not adding that to my team though, because I have Lumos for that, but just for the sake of just having that red Gyarados, and it's just right there. So so I just figured just catch right away just for the sake of it. Now, even though it would technically be your first shiny, because it's like the kind of shiny you would just encounter in the overworld, and therefore because of the block progression, then because of that, it doesn't really count for being your first shiny. So, because I will say though, one thing for me that, oh man, I got a story for that one. My first encounter for a shiny Pokemon was a shiny Diglett in my when I was playing Pokemon Fire Red, and I of course found in the Diglett's cave, and I was trying to catch it. I tried to, use as much Pokeballs as ever. It kept escaping from the Pokeball. I wasn't able to catch it, and I ran out of all my Pokeballs. So, yeah, I was never able to catch it because of it, and it was sad. It was my very first shiny that I found, and I never caught it because I ran out of Pokeballs because I couldn't get the damn Pokeballs. That was just tragic, but just to, and this is where I can actually just give you guys a little bit of a nice little game here. So if you guys just let me know in the comments for your Pokemon games, like what was the very first shiny Pokemon that you encountered? And it can't be Red Gyarados though, because that doesn't count. But like aside from that, like your very first shiny to encounter in the wild, like just let me know in the comments, and you can tell me what was your very first shiny encounter. It can be any Pokemon game. Like it doesn't have to be Gen 2 specifically. It can be any kind of Pokemon game, either from Gens 2 or or from the later gens. So it just because I like to see. I'm actually kind of curious for what kind of from your kind of experience, but you know, I told you my experience with the shiny Diglett, and which is kind of tragic in a way. So, anyway, so after catching that red Gyarados, you'll actually get this red scale, which will be in the key items pocket, and we're gonna be keeping that because we're gonna need to deliver to some certain someone. And then if you go over to the sign, we see that there's a familiar face over there, and that was Lance. So yeah, remember you remember Lance, right? From Gen 1, he was one of the members of the Elite Four in Kanto. Well, now he's back, and so he sees that there's something going on with the Pokemon rampaging in the lake, and he basically is recruiting us to help him investigate what's the whole bottom of this kind of thing. So he'll actually be helping us. So that's actually kind of cool in a way. And so yeah, I had to get rid of or use one of my items. I know I probably shouldn't have used my Mystery Berry because it's restore for PP, and Ice Punch didn't really need that, but I wanted this rare candy because you know just level up here. Because, you know, my inventory was full. I will say this, though. One thing this is something that Gen 2 actually fixes, because back in Gen 1, you know, Gen 1 was actually the absolute worst when it comes to item inventories, because once your bag is full and you try to pick up an item, the game will just say no more room for items. It doesn't even tell you what the name of the item is. Like, it'll just say no room for items, so you can't really find out what the item is, like, especially if it's an item that you actually want. Or if it's actually something that turns out you don't really need, and then you're just like, oh, okay, well, I didn't need this item anyway. And so you have to give her one of the an item in your inventory just by storing it to the PC or just storing it away, and then pick it up. That's what it tells you. I really hate it when it does that. But thankfully this is fixed in Gen 2, where even if your items or your bag is full of the in your item slot, if you try to pick up the item, the game will at least tell you like what the item is you're about to pick up. So that way, if it's an item that you don't necessarily need, then you can just you can just you know, just leave it there. So there, if it's useless, then you wouldn't need it anyway. But if it's something you actually would like, then you just either come back for it later or just throw away one of those items. So I'm actually real glad Gen 2 fixes this. So there we can actually know. And and this guy just gave us a TM for a hidden power, which you know, pretty interesting, but pretty low power as well. So yeah, despite going through this tree maze around the Lake of Rage. In Heart Gold Soul Silver, the Lake of Rage, on every day except for Wednesdays, I think, the whole area rains, and so the left side of the Lake of Rage is completely flooded. But on Wednesdays, however, it doesn't rain at all, and the water will actually just drain out to where it actually is very much identical to its appearance in this gen. So over there's like some items that were submerged initially in underwater, then they can just pick those items, or just pick up those items if you ever need to. Anyway, so now that we got the red scale, I went ahead and flew back over to Violet City because we actually need to go back over to Mr. Pokemon's house. If you remember him, because he'll actually give us something if we give him the red scale, because he'll be so enamored by that. So we'll just head over this way, and then after that we'll go into just call an episode because then we'll just have to investigate like what that radio broadcast was all about. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all there is to say. I was trying to think if there was like anything else to say for anything in Lake of Rage, but yeah, I guess that was it. So anyway, so after you give Mr. Pokemon the red scale, he will trade you for the experience share. So yeah, after like 6 gyms in, now we finally get the experience share. So what it is, the experience share in Gen 2 has changed where it's now a held item. So once you give your Pokemon one of the the experience share, then it'll basically just like obtain half the experience that receives from the other Pokemon that's already in battle. So if you want to grind it up, they changed it from Gen 1 from the experience all to the experience share. So anyway, I better go into another video. So next time, let's play Pokemon Crystal. We'll see what this whole radio broadcast is all about and see what we can do about it. So I will see you guys next time.